We're getting our first look at the House Republicans' draft budget less than a day before tomorrow morning's scheduled markup session, which gives Congress its first chance to debate and amend what's in there. What is in it right now is at least $4.5 trillion in tax cuts and at least $1.5 trillion in spending cuts over the next 10 years. Let's bring in Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle, who is the ranking member of the House Budget Committee. Help us to understand this, Congressman. First of all, give us your thoughts on the budget that was released by your Republican colleagues.
Well, good to be with you. And simply put, what Republicans are doing through this budget is a betrayal of the American middle class. They just waged an entire presidential campaign that was really geared on what folks thought was the number one issue, and that was making life more affordable for most Americans, especially after the inflation crisis that occurred beginning in 2021 as a result of the pandemic. Well, here we are, the first big budget, the economic agenda, not just for the next year, but over the next decade. And what we see is $4.5 trillion of tax cuts, almost all of which go to the richest 1% of Americans. But that's not all. The way they propose to pay for that $4.5 trillion of tax cuts is through deficit financing combined with almost $900 billion in cuts to Medicaid and Obamacare. So in the end of the day, it's going to be middle-class families that pay for a tax cut that mostly goes to the top 1%.
We heard Elon Musk in the Oval Office yesterday saying there's too much debt, that we're in the hole. So are you behind the strategy to slow down the budget, maybe to the point of a shutdown, if what some of your Democratic colleagues have called Donald Trump and Elon Musk's illegal, unconstitutional interference with congressional power is sort of represented in this budget?
Well, a couple quick points on this. First, when it comes to the national debt, it's ironic that Elon Musk would say that while standing in the Oval Office a few feet away from President Trump, because the president who has added the most to our national debt in American history is Donald Trump. That is a fact, over $8 trillion of added spending to the national debt. The second point that I would make is this. People are talking about a hypothetical government shutdown a month from now. We are already seeing a shutdown of government agency after government agency, done, by the way, in a way that is completely illegal and unconstitutional. We've seen it at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We've seen it at USAID. We now may next see it at the Department of Education. So what I would like to do is ensure that all of these shutdowns that have already occurred actually get rolled back. And I'm certainly going to use any vote I have as leverage to make sure that we correct all of this unconstitutional, illegal behavior that we're seeing from co-President Musk and his Dodge crew.
Well, it looks like the budget might be in trouble. Politico just reported, Congressman, that Republicans do not have the conservative votes to pass it, at least as it's currently seen. They wrote, quote, hardliners, including two who sit on the House Budget Committee, want an additional guaranteed $500 billion in spending cuts. The draft budget, as you know, includes a direction to committees to find hundreds of billions of dollars in so-called savings, either through spending cuts or new revenue. Where's this going? You've been around for a little while. You know the members of your committee. Where's this going right now?
Well, let's be clear. Right now, Republicans have a majority in the House, a majority in the Senate, and they have the White House. So if there is a full government shutdown, it will be because Republicans want to fully shut down the government. Tomorrow in the Budget Committee, we will be marking up. It'll be a historic day, perhaps the most important day over the next decade in terms of setting what our financial priorities will be as a country. We'll start at 10 o'clock in the morning and we'll probably go well into the night. I am optimistic that every single Democrat will see things the way I do, that this is a deeply irresponsible budget proposal. I expect that every single Democrat will vote it down. And if we get a few other Republicans to join us, then it will stop there. If they are able to get it out of committee tomorrow night, then the next step obviously would be to go to the full committees that are directed by the budget resolution. So it's an important day tomorrow, and I hope all Americans who are concerned about what is going on will tune in, because tomorrow will be a very crucial day.